Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are we getting on? Welcome back to another update on Bethesda's latest Inside the Vault blog post. So, unfortunately, last week, with my office being piled in a heap in that corner over there, I wasn't able to put one of these out. So, I put a little update on the channel's community page, which I'll link to down in the description as well. So, if you want to have a look at my thoughts on last week's update, you can find those there. Long story short on that was basically to do with the PvP mode, the survival mode that's just come out today. Today? Yesterday? Recently anyway, one or the other. And as anticipated, it seems to be pretty much, well, chaos I think would be a good word. Bethesda's efforts to curb the one-shotting of players in PvP seems to have gone down like a lead brick, I think. It's not been very successful. So, I can't say I'm particularly surprised by that. Hopefully it will have pulled a lot of the people who just want to cause trouble over in that direction, and will leave the rest of us who want to play adventure mode in peace. But, yeah, I guess we'll see over the next few days as I get back into it. So, let's have a look at what we've got coming up over the next few weeks. Where's my mouse? There it is. Inside the Vault. Lying Low questline. So this begins our cryptid hunt, which I'm looking forward to. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. I've not heard the title of the quest before, which is interesting, so I don't know if it's going to be a series of quests coming out over a few weeks. That's the feeling I'm getting from this. Let's have a look. Put on your detective cap because we're investigating a mysterious new quest line coming to Fallout 76 with patch 8, which includes our next Wild Appalachia update in April. Theoretically, that could be as soon as next week. On the other hand, I don't think it's going to be quite that quick. Just the feeling I'm getting from this blog post and just Bethesda's feedback on Fallout in general at the moment. I've got a hunch it'll be a couple of weeks off rather than next week, but you never know, it might surprise me. Watch this space, I guess. So we're previewing a few highlights from patch 8, including the ability to rename your items, very cool, as well as vendor and turret adjustments. So this is one of the reasons I'm not convinced that it's going to be next week, is because it's very vague and they tend to get a bit more specific a bit closer to the time. However, there's some cool stuff in here. So the new quest line, Lying Low. Cool little screenshot there, I'm liking that. Interesting. Our next Wild Appalachia update in April will have you hunting for clues as you find your way through Lying Low, an all-new questline that's shrouded in mystery, deception, and rumours of a ferocious cryptid roaming the wasteland. So yeah, April's very, very vague. Well, fairly vague. So yeah, we'll see when it actually comes out. I'm guessing a couple of weeks. So looking for a new cryptid, which is cool. Always up for new beasties to fight. And if it's mystery and deception and they actually live up to that, which they could have done more of last time, but we'll see if they hopefully they'll focus their efforts here, which would be cool. And it could be a very interesting quest line. The confirmed details we have are sparse, but the truth begins in Lewisburg, which is down in the ash heap if I remember rightly. The posters left behind by a woman named Shelley Van Lowe. She was in search of her brother Calvin, who disappeared just before the Great War. Based on the poster she hung up, it would seem she believes the legendary sheep squatch, I'm struggling with this, the fabled woolly terror of West Virginia could be responsible. I'd love to know if this is actually based on a thing or if they've just gone bonkers and come up with this on the fly. We'll say on the hoof, but that might be a little too literal. Because either way, that's just hilarious. I'm loving that. Cool looking shot of the poster there. Accept this assignment and kick off your career as a wasteland super sleuth by finding and reading one of these posters in Lewisburg or at train stations around Appalachia. To unravel this mystery, you'll need to chase every lead you can scrape together, solve puzzles, and separate monsters from myths as you explore who or what may still be lurking around Appalachia waiting for its next victim. So, yeah, it sounds like they're really going to go for the investigating a mystery thing, which they've kind of not done the best job of in the past, but I'm optimistic. It looks like they focused it more on this, which would be very, very cool. There could be a lot of interesting possibilities to this quest line, based on what they're telling us here anyway. Going with the find a poster at the train stations or specific location thing again, which is quite an effective way of introducing new content, I guess. Nice and easy, makes it simple for everyone to find. As an alternative to finding posters in the world, we're planning to add a Sheep Squatch Ate My Brother poster. definitely want that, to the Atomic Shop for a limited time once Lying Low goes live. You'll be able to unlock it for free, post it in your camp and start the quest that way, which is probably the easiest way overall. Yeah, Sheep Squatch Ape, my brother, would be a fun poster to have, I think. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that as well. So, other highlights coming up in patch 8. Customize your gear with item renaming. So I used to do this a lot in Fallout 4. I'd just put a dash in front of the item name because it just then bumped it straight to the top of the list in your Pip-Boy. It made stuff you wanted to find the most often much easier to get hold of. And of course you can name it whatever you like as well, which is always cool. We've read feedback from many players in the Fallout 76 community who would like to add a more personal touch to their gear, and with patch 8 we're adding the ability to rename your items. You can do this by choosing Inspect option when viewing an item in your Pip-Boy, and then selecting the new Rename option. The name you enter will be displayed in place of the item's default name, and you can rename items as many times as you like, so basically the same as in Fallout 4, which is what you'd expect. But your custom names will not transfer with the item when viewed by or transferred to another player. So if you give it to somebody else or they check it out, they'll just see the default, which is fine. It's basically like a player unique cosmetic, I suppose, for want of a better way of putting it. Which is fine, that's cool. It's not really designed for everybody else to see anyway. It's a personal thing, that's fine. Looks like it should be fun. This is a handy point that I'm quite happy about. Faction vendor updates. No secret that vendors are some of the busiest bots in Appalachia, and we're planning on making a pair of adjustments that should make it even more convenient to make these crucial trades with various vendor factions. That's not a well put together sentence. Not that I can talk today, apparently. With our next update, we're adding a vendor from every faction except the Enclave to shops at the White Spring Resort, which is great. That'll give us a single location to go to and save ourselves a fortune in fast travel caps. You'll just be able to hop over there and flog everything you like. So that's going to be up to a limit of 1400 caps. I'm not sure if that's an increase or not. I'll have to get a calculator out on that and figure it out. But additionally, we're combining the cap totals from all 7 vendor factions into a pool of 1,400 caps, which should offer you more flexibility in the trades you make with specific factions. I don't know if this is going to be unique to the White Spring. Probably not. It'll probably be a worldwide change, the second point. But hopefully that means you'll be able to go into a single vendor and sell up to 1,400 caps worth of stuff and quite rapidly increase your supply of caps if you need them, like I do, for example, right now. So that would save a lot of fast travel, a lot of faffing around time, which would be great. It's definitely a nice little quality of life change. As I say, I'm not 100% sure on what the current total would be. I don't think it's quite that high, so I think there will be an increase. And having everything in one spot at the White Spring will mean that, aside from the common pool of caps, you'll be able to just nip around and view different sets of items much more easily, all in the one location, which should be really cool. Damage adjustments for turrets. With patch 8, turrets you can build in your camp or at workshops are going to receive a few changes that will help them feel more dangerous, which is good because they need some work. They're not particularly effective. Right now they have a very high budgetary cost, lower than they used to be fair, but still relatively speaking high, and they're not particularly effective, so what's the point in short? You know, anybody who's got any stealth in particular can just sneak up on your camp and get that sneak attack critical and just wipe your turrets out one by one, so not a big challenge to anybody who wants to attack your camp. Although saying that, not as easy to do that as it used to be, which is always cool. So turrets will now be affected by player PvP damage rules, which feature increased base damage and damage scaling. This means they will not be able to kill players in one shot, but it will also prevent them from dealing trivial damage. Additionally, turret attack ranges will now match those of player weapons. These changes should help your defences pose a much bigger and more consistent threat against any attackers who come knocking. Increased base damage, so they should be doing more damage in general, and they should now scale with the level of the player who put them down, I suppose? Or is that going to be... Yeah, it wouldn't make sense for them to do it the other way and scale with the enemy attacking, because that would just be ridiculous and challenging to do, I should imagine, with something already in situ. But that should be an effective way of making them feel more dangerous. The player PvP damage rules thing is pretty vague. Does that mean they won't attack until they've been attacked themselves, or until either you or the turrets have been attacked, or your base? So presumably so you can wander on by without having to worry about somebody else's turrets. But you can kind of do that already, so I'm not too sure what they're getting out there. But I guess we'll see in a bit more detail fairly soon anyway. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Maybe I'm missing something obvious here. Attack range going up is definitely a good thing, because I've noticed myself that on the rare occasions I have actually tried to use a turret, range isn't phenomenal, but if you couple that with the recent changes, them being more reliable about attacking things, that should hopefully make them much more effective. Should be very, very cool. So, yeah, some interesting looking new quest, probably the most interesting of the Wild Appalachia update if I had to guess. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to getting hold of that. That's next month. I think they have given a provisional date in their roadmap, which off the top of my head I can't remember, but I think it's maybe a couple of weeks out probably, so we've got a bit of time to get to grips with what we've already got, which is fine. Obviously survival mode is going in much the predicted manner with its utter chaos, so there we go. I won't be doing anything with that. I think I'll be going in, yeah, I'm off in the other direction I think. But yeah, some cool stuff. Improvements to turrets will be very, very good. Definitely happy to see that. And yeah, being able to name your gear, if nothing else, at the very least will allow you to have a much tidier inventory, and I'm always in favour of that, so yeah, very cool. And yeah, not having to waste so many caps fast travelling on while trying to gain more caps I'm happy about as well. So yeah, all in all, a couple of cool changes coming up. Looking forward to finding out a bit more about them. So, I do hope you found that interesting, informative, useful, etc, etc. If you did, do hit those buttons for me, it's very much appreciated. Social media links popping up about now, and they're down in the description as well, if you want to keep up to date with everything I'm doing. I'll be back streaming hopefully Sunday night, and hopefully I'll have a video out between now and then as well, so fingers crossed all goes well on that one. Very happy to be back. If you haven't checked out already, given my recent leave of absence, do have a look at my returning video of me putting my office back together. Get a little peek behind the curtain, it's all good fun. Nice little something different, and it's nice and short as well, so you won't be sat there all day. For now, thank you very much for watching everybody. Have a wonderful evening, and I will see you all very, very soon.